Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. On Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reportedly told his cabinet to expect a slowdown on settlement construction outside of the major West Bank settlement blocks. Responding to a request from United States President Donald Trump, Netanyahu stated that it would be difficult to move forward with plans to build a new settlement for the former residents of the Amona outpost, which was evacuated earlier this month. The Israeli Prime Minister insisted that such cooperation was necessary to ensure a unified American-Israeli front regarding a renewed push between the two administrations to thwart Iran's nuclear ambitions. At the same time, a report emerged that in a secret summit he initiated in Aqaba in February 2016, Netanyahu himself had proposed a construction freeze outside of the main settlement blocks with Jordanian King Abdullah, Egyptian President al-Sisi, and then U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, as part of a 5-point plan to restart peace talks with the Palestinians. A group of Egyptian human rights lawyers have filed a lawsuit in an administrative court calling for the barring of, quote, foreign settlements in the Sinai Peninsula. Human rights lawyer Khaled Ali said on his Facebook page that the suit aims to combat what he says are plans to settle Palestinians in Sinai. The suit comes in response to Israeli Minister Ayub Kara saying that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and United States President Donald Trump would discuss an alleged proposal by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to establish a Palestinian state in Gaza and Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. Netanyahu later denied Kara's claims, saying that, quote, this idea was not even a point of discussion, end quote. Ali said Israeli motivations behind such a move would be to ultimately make Jerusalem the state of Israel's undivided capital, denying Palestinian claims to the occupied city, insisting that, quote, this is why we need to take serious steps towards resisting this plan, end quote. The Islamic State terrorist group claims that 5 members of its Sinai Peninsula branch were killed in an Israeli attack on Saturday night. According to the Amaq news agency, which is considered the jihadist group's mouthpiece, the 5 were killed by an Israeli drone while traveling in a vehicle in a Sinai village near Rafah on the border with Gaza, on the way to preparing to fire rockets towards Israel. The Israeli Defense Force, or IDF, did not confirm or deny the reports of the strike, although that is a standard IDF response to any sensitive operation. Earlier this month, 4 rockets were fired from the Sinai Peninsula towards Eilat. 3 of the rockets were intercepted by the Iron Dome anti-missile system, while the 4th rocket exploded in an open area. A military court in Hamas-controlled Gaza sentenced 3 Palestinian men to death on Sunday for collaborating with Israel. 3 other death sentences against locals convicted of treason and providing information to, quote, hostile third parties, which is an allusion to Israel, had been finalized, meaning they could no longer appeal. The first 3 who were sentenced to hanging can appeal the sentence, but the verdict raises the number of people on death row to 10. Hamas regularly claims to have captured so-called Israeli spies and then proceeds to try them and sentence them to death. Under Palestinian Arab law, collaboration with Israel is punishable by death. All death sentences, however, require the approval of Palestinian Authority Chairman Mahmoud Abbas. While Abbas issued a moratorium on death sentences in 2005, Hamas ignores it, as it no longer recognizes the legitimacy of Abbas, whose 4-year term expired in 2009. Israel must always remain a bipartisan issue, President Reuven Rivlin said last night, stressing the importance of the support of the United States. Rivlin's comments came in an address at the opening dinner of the annual Israel Leadership Mission of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations. Said Rivlin, quote, we cannot allow Israel to be a political football between different sides, between different ideologies. Support for Israel must and always remain a bipartisan issue, end quote. At the same time, Rivlin sought to reassure the Jewish American community that Israel recognizes them, telling the audience, quote, friends, we respect all the Jews in North America, and we know that Israel is important to you. We appreciate your concern, and we have no doubt that whatever your politics, you care for the safety, for the prosperity, and for the well-being of the State of Israel, end quote. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.